Okay, so which accounts have a higher budget than Mark Kim? I just wanted to make things a little bit more fun. We sometimes may have to put a little bit more into our subqueries, and that is, which have a higher budget than Mark Kim. Well, our derived data doesn't necessarily have to be using an aggregate function. We can also just make sure that we only output one record, and we just say where act first is equal to whatever first name we got, and act last is equal to whatever last name we got. So Mark Kim, right? And then if we have a look at what this subquery is, notice I'm just highlighting this and running it. We can see we get still one row, one column data, right? And it's comparing who has a higher budget than this dude right here. So we run that. And now our subqueries work quite nicely. All right. Okay, and let's have a look at one more here, and this is out of those who registered before Robert Johnston registered, who still has active accounts. So this is probably a little bit more complicated, and let's do this one from scratch. We're going to do select, and it says who. If it says who, we can put in select everything, but usually who is just, we want a couple of names, and maybe we might want to know, whether account's active, what the registration date was, whatever, because those things were mentioned. But if we don't tell you exactly what to output in a question, then just feel free to put in whatever columns that you think are appropriate. In this case, I'm going to put in their first name. Oh, let's put out star from account. And then I'll use my IntelliSense here, act first, put in a space. Actually, let's use the concat function now just to be a little different because we haven't done that. Remember, we can do concat, act first. Oh, hold on, let me put this in here. Act first name, comma, space, comma, act last name. And that works much like the pluses do, but IntelliSense isn't quite as friendly for me here, so I'm just going to refrain from doing that when I can help it. All right, so we'll put concat on there, and let's also put in the registration date. And if their account is active, we'll do that. Okay. And then, so we're just looking at people who registered before Robert Johnston. All right, so we do where their registration date is less than, remember, before the so-and-so registered. And then we get select registration date again. Notice I'm still matching up column to column, right? Because of the way these questions are asked. It's rare that you won't see these two columns matching up. We say from, and again, account, and we're going to say where the first name is equal to Robert, and last name is equal to Johnston. Okay, and I'm going to run just this one query to make sure that it's working. And we'll see that it doesn't work yet, and that's because I misspelled the name. The name Robert Johnston should have had that little H in there. I missed it. Sometimes we misspell things, so we have to make sure to watch these questions, copy and paste it in, and test our subqueries to make sure we're getting some information, and then get the rest here, right? But if you have a look, we're looking for who still has active accounts. I answered the one part, who registered before. So out of those who registered before, now I've got to answer the who still has active accounts. Well, I just refined this query, right? I've got a couple of ones, a couple of zeros. Well, I know that an account is active when they have a 1. So I'm going to say where what the criteria they have there, plus they also have an active account. And now I can fully answer that question. And all is good in the world. And that is the last question I have on this subqueries thing. Now, naturally, if you have any questions, you can ask me in class, or you can send me an email, or you can just put a comment on this video, and I'll do what I can to answer any questions you might have. Thank you, and see you in class.